The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
And give you the updates on happenings in the game between Arsenal and Chelsea going on at the Emirates Stadium in London, England. You know, it's a derby day in England, and whenever we witness a derby day like this, we look forward to a fixture that you just take out of your mind their current form and just look at the game based on what is happening on the field of play. Because derby, truly, you can't really consider current form to predict who can take home the fixture, the 0 points, or maybe they will share the spoils. You can be rest assured that you will be entertained today and educated to some extent in some other aspect, because we are here to entertain you, and not only entertain you, but to educate you. I have a guest here with me that will be talking about the game together and even talk about some other things, because Barcelona just won their game 1-0 actually a few minutes ago. So we will digress a little bit to that too. And we just take a very short break, and we'll be right back to kickstart the analysis part of the show. So we'll be right back in a moment.
There are two chances, just as you said. Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball and you could have scored. At least you could have given, even if you didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. Okay.
Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. Once I make sure I just go to my this account to say Chelsea has so many substitutes, bench win matches. We're not talking about the starting 11. Now we have 2 starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's not about 2. Let my 2 until they come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Next season. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name is Managerial. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Arsenal versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name is Managerial. Please don't forget to subscribe.
My name is Adeyemi. I'll be your host tonight, standing in for the gaffer himself. And yeah, I'm here with Shegun.
Oh, good evening, Adeyemi.
Shegun, thank you for.
It's really an unfortunate night.
It's quite unfortunate
to be a Chelsea fan and to even think I'm in a Chelsea jersey, watching and talking about this game. Although the first half really sum up the whole of Chelsea's season and what it has been since we've appointed what's it called Frank Lampard as the coach. Wow. Well, it's what we've been living up to, it's what we've been watching, it's what we've been seeing all this while this season. So it's something we're already used to. Chelsea I guess losing 3-0 at Arsenal at the first half. That is uncalled for. No matter the bad season we're having, no, Chelsea shouldn't be losing 3-0 at halftime.
It's another day to open the book of lamentation for Chelsea fans. It's another day for the elephants to climb back to the top of the table. As it dey pain some, it dey sweet some. And as it dey sweet some, it dey pain some. sometimes you'll be on the painful side, like the book of Lamentation, the Chelsea faithful just opened just now. And sometimes you will be on the sweet side where you'll be enjoying it. I know Arsenal faithful are on the sweet side right now. Because actually, the elephant is back on the tree.
Yeah, it's actually funny how this is what we'll be going through as Chelsea fan all season. We're used to it. This is Lampard's sixth consecutive losing.
Even worse than Graham
Potter. I think we are used to it. Both Graham Potter to Lampard and from Tuchel, it has really been a bad season for Chelsea.
If you look at Tuchel had 3 wins, 3 draws, and I think 1 or 2 losses.
Yeah, you know, there's more to it than you actually get
the result.
Now the problem Tuchel had with the Chelsea new owners was the backroom talks. That's where the issue happened. Yeah. And if you can't be on the same page with your owners and your bosses, then there's the fluidity and how the cohesion will happen can't really be there. So but I think that was the issue Tuchel had with Boy and his people.
Don't you think, like in an organization now, when you see that somebody is very pivotal in your company's success, don't you think there are ways, there are mechanisms you can put in place for you both to just work together just to get the desired result?
Yes, and that is when it comes to we are actually compromising some of our standards for it to happen. Yes. But the thing is, was Tuchel ready to compromise? That we saw him coming out in the press conference talking about the board, that the owners that I'm not what's it called? I'm not
carried along.
I'm not. No, there was a time he talked about him not being a transfer agent or whatever. That he doesn't want to be involved in when it comes to transfer. He just wants to be involved with coaching.
Just identify the target and get
yes,
him.
And that's the problem with him and Tuchel and the owners. The owners actually wanted a coach that the whole information and the whole communication is going to be circular, one end to end. They're having communication, and that is what Tuchel doesn't want. He wanted to just focus on the football aspect of it. And as I said, when you have new owners and new ideologies, it kind of differs. I'll take you back to when Roman Abramovich got Chelsea. It was almost like the same team. We had Claudio Ranieri.
But he left him for the remainder of the season.
He left him for the remainder of the season.
We got to the semi-final of the Champions League.
That was in the middle of the season. But even Ranieri talked about it, that he knew Abramovich was going to sack him at the end of the day. I was going into the next season. When when your priorities doesn't match to each other, he had to sack Ranieri and got Jose Mourinho. He had to sack almost all the old backroom staff to get his own board members into Chelsea. So that is how it works. It's a new season with a new owner. We are not used to it. This is over like 20 years when last we saw ourselves in this kind of mess we are in right now. So I think the 3-0 is a wide margin. We shouldn't be expecting this. And if there's anything honorable about Frank Lampard, and if he really sees himself as a legend of the club, he should be tendering his resignation tomorrow morning. This is not the Chelsea I started supporting in the year 2000, and I shouldn't be seeing this happening.
Of course, this is not the Chelsea we used to know. This is not the Chelsea that Abramovich led through an 18 years to 20 years of success back to back. Hardly will you see Chelsea go 2 seasons or 3 seasons trophyless, because we had the gaffer himself that knew what it meant to win. But it is a lamentation day for Chelsea fans.
I'm not even talking about
Do not be dismayed. Better days are ahead. Don't forget.
But don't write them off. They can be a comeback. They can be a comeback in this game. That's why.
As far as I'm concerned,
this is done and dusted.
So it's
a game of football. We never can tell.
We never can tell. But we can tell this one. Yes, I agree. In the game of football, we never can tell.
They might come back into the second half. I'll just might come back in the second half. It depends on the kind of substitution.
I like the way you are using might.
I think the real problem right now is these boys are not motivated. Just
like they are playing as if they are academic
and
players.
That is the problem I have with Boyle and Ekberg. Now is the time for you to bring the new coach who is going to coach this
Let
players.
him
next
do
season.
the remaining
Bring him,
matches
let him
as
do the rest
pre-season.
matches like preseason. He'll know who is not going to fit into his plan, so
Yeah.
he can actually work with the boys before actually selling some
So,
players.
yeah.
Because him coming in at the end of the season without working with the boys and just selling players is still about what he having a big control over the squad, which is not supposed to be happening. I saw it in the paper when Pochettino was talking about something like that he wants a free role. He doesn't want intervention from
yes,
the owners. He
you
doesn't want the
interfere.
owners coming into the dressing room. These are things that they need to sort. Let the board knows that we are the board. Let the owner knows we are the owner.
Yeah.
How many times it's just unfortunate that we are talking about this. We're talking about Chelsea. This when it was last time we saw Chelsea on 10th position. Talk less of Chelsea battling to stay on top. Right now, I've never seen myself in a position of begging myself that, oh, God, just let Chelsea get to 40 points. It's so unfortunate.
It's quite unfortunate. Well, it's the story of Chelsea Football Club this season. Book of lamentation here and there. We just hope that we can finally close this book at the beginning of next season, or maybe throughout next season. Because truly, the future is bleak. But for those who have faith, we keep their hope alive that better days.
See how much space they're giving to
Now,
Sakai.
let's talk about the first half before the second half resumes. Looking at the first half, what is your take on how Arsenal started the game and what Arsenal has done with the game so far?
Yeah, it's a game of two different what's it called? Two different sides of the coin. We have an Arsenal side who actually knows what they want. And yes, you can see them getting the goals because they're looking at the goal difference between them and and Manchester City. Yeah. Manchester City has plus 54 coming into this game, and Arsenal had about 40 plus 40 coming into this game.
Yeah,
so at the point, you have to cut those number of goals because as the season is going, we've seen it whereby it has to go down to to goal difference. And if there's a player I've been really impressed with at this Arsenal, in this Arsenal squad, it has to be Martin Odegaard. He's a player that's come of age. At the age of 23, you see him playing matured football. It shows how much he has learned from playing with Luka Modric and and Cruz. He's showing his game. He's getting to the peak of his career. So this is an Arsenal side that they are really getting into it. Yes, we've seen Manchester City behind them, putting that pressure on them. But they are not letting that pressure get to them. It's not affecting them. Playing a derby, going 3-0 up in the first half is you just giving yourself little pressure coming into the second half, and having the feeling that it is home and dusted.
You notice something. There is a change in the Arsenal setup.
Yeah.
Something changed. Jorginho came in for Partey.
Yeah,
and they are 3-0 up at halftime.
Because Jorginho, there's a belief that Jorginho, I want to say with him that probably the belief is that Jorginho is the kind of player that is used to the Chelsea midfielders. He knows the way they play. These are players you've trained with over the time. So you look at this Chelsea midfielders, what's it called? Enzo, Kante, and Kovacic. This is a midfield trio that actually lack creativity. And that has been one of the Chelsea problems this season. The midfield lack creativity. So when you don't have a 10 in the midfield doing the creative work, then there's no need for you having Partey, who is actually a blocker in a team. So when you have Jorginho in the midfield, who is someone that can actually spring those passes out of nowhere and immediately keep the flow of football fast. I think probably that is one of the reasons why we're having Jorginho.
But looking at Partey's performance so far for the past 3 games, he has not really crowned himself in glory. He has been really, really questionable, especially the last game against Man City.
Yeah, players have stinks.
Against West Ham, he was the culprit.
Yeah.
Man City, a culprit, one of the people responsible for their loss. So, do you really think it's just about knowing Chelsea that Jorginho came? Or we are looking at a time whereby Arteta is beginning to get tired of his excesses?
I can't really say he's getting tired of his excesses because no matter the mistakes we've been seeing from Partey, he is still one of the indispensable players in the Arsenal lineup. He has the experience.
He too many games.
And there are some games he will play that they'll really need him. I think it's about him being burnt out and him needing some games out so he can get himself refreshed. This is one thing. Look at the first half. How many times have we seen Saka into this game? No. Saka too has been off form for like 4 or 5 games. He hasn't been that impressive. That's not the Saka we've seen playing for Arsenal this season. So it's something like that. You have to get these players out sometimes and let them refresh themselves.
Of course, but you know there are some rules that you can't condone
Mistakes.
off form.
Yeah.
Let's just say off form, because they are very pivotal in the success of the team. And such a role, one of them is holding midfielder, the number 4, as they number them in the starting 11.
Yeah.
The centre back, the number 4, the goalkeeper. Even number 9, you can still, left, right, forward, well, they can come to score midfielder. But when we talk about number 4, centre back, and the goalkeeper, there are rules whereby when you go off form, you can expose your team to danger. So, looking at that now, as a football enthusiast, what do you think made Arsenal fall so bad in the midst of, in 3 games that they could have won 2? They were 2-0 up and they lost successfully. What do you think was responsible for that?
Yeah, that is actually a game of football. It happens in a game of football. We've seen it happen where teams get complacent and you lose momentum. We've seen it happen. We saw this time now we are actually talking about losing game from winning points, winning positions. Yeah. We saw them coming back from losing position to win 4-3 against Bournemouth. We saw them against
3-2 against Bournemouth.
3-2 against Bournemouth. We saw them come back to play a 3-3 draw against Southampton from losing 3-1 at a point in the game. So these are things that happen in football matches. We are getting to the end of the twilight of the season, whereby players are getting tired. The long season is getting into them. So it gets to a point that players get out of form. And that is why we always talk about having a wide squad, having a good number of players on the bench. They have the squad depth. You have a number of players that can come off from the bench or replace them in another match.
But we've had people talk about different things that can cause this. What can you cite particularly that caused Arsenal to decapulate in a very short frame of time?
It's a game of football. It's a game of football. That's just it to me. I don't really want to look at it like that there was a problem in the squad. It's just the same number of players.
Not just problem. Sometimes handling pressure.
Yeah, normally yes, it's one of it. But I just want to see pressure as a problem, because this is a squad of players. I said it over time during some of our presentation here, that this is a squad that is not really I can't really look at Arsenal and say this is a squad full of world-class players. They're just a squad full of good players. So it's one of those problems that we see in football happen. There are times you lose form, there are times you lose focus, there are times you lose form due to pressure, and there are times that it just happens out of nowhere. So it's just normal. It's a game of football. They are so fortunate to be having a team like Man City behind them. I always say that every week. They are so fortunate to have them behind them, pushing them. On a good day, Arsenal have done more than enough to win this Premiership. They are a team on a course.
When you say more than enough, it is relative. Because starting the season, your competitors.
Yeah.
People that are fighting to get what you are coveting, what you are running to get. And you know that the end justifies the means.
Yes, they justify the means.
How can you top for 30-something weeks and still lose the title?
We've seen it happen with Liverpool also.
This is the first time it's happening in Premier League.
No.
30-something week. Go and check.
It's not about leading. It's not about leading for 30-something weeks.
Yes.
For out of that 30-something weeks, what was the gap difference between them?
It's not just about gap. Last season, as at 11 games to go, I think Man City was stopping with 1 point, and they held on with that 1 point till the end of the season.
Manchester City is good. Manchester City, I don't fault Arsenal losing points or losing momentum to Manchester City. We know how good Manchester City can be.
Yes, they
Look
can.
at the difference between, take Manchester City out of it. Then look at Arsenal to whoever is in third position. Look at the point difference.
Yeah.
That is a lot of points between the first and second and third position. So I don't want to really look at it as points. This season we have a lot of teams. We have Chelsea who are not really in the best of form. We have Liverpool, they are not in the best of form. We have Tottenham, they're not in the best of form. These are three teams that should have joined ahead with Manchester City and what's it called, and Manchester United to actually give Arsenal and Manchester City a run for the money. But these teams, they didn't really come into the party this season. So I don't want to look at it that there was a reason why Arsenal had a problem this last 3 games. It's just a game of football. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen with Real Madrid, whereby they lose some games, you don't even expect them to lose, and they win some games, you don't really expect them to win. It's just happening in football.
It happens in football, and on our screens, the second half of the game between Arsenal and Chelsea is about to kick off. And Chelsea made a substitution, taking off Aubameyang at halftime.
Yeah, I think
that's
actually a good substitution, but I'm not really a big fan of having Kai Havertz in a game because I see him as a player that doesn't really know his position. Let's say Chelsea don't really know.
Chelsea is playing.
Chelsea don't really know his real position because playing.
They know. Honestly,
I know because I've seen him play as a 10, I've seen him play as a 9. I don't really know.
Chelsea. Okay, for
Kai
instance,
Havertz
the final of the Champions League, he played his natural role, number 8.
Okay.
And look at his performance in that final. Kai Havertz is a natural number 8. Like, it was, there are some wing you
I would actually like to. I've never been really impressed
with his performance because most of his games is being played out of position. Because look at it, when he came, when I wasn't scoring, they had to start pushing him forward. After Werner left, they started using him as a false 9.
And it's one of the problems why Chelsea are where they are this season. Because when you have a striker that is not actually scoring goals,
it's not a striker, so you can't blame him.
He plays as a striker,
but you can't blame him.
We've seen
it's like using Kante as a number 9. Look at that chance Chilwell missed.
We've seen We've seen Marcus Rashford plays as 9 for Manchester United, and it's not really.
We have different kind of players. Look at Ronaldo from wings he went to 9.
It's not really a 9.
It's not a 9, but there are some number 9 too some number 8 too that they will slot into the number 9, and they do it.
This is another player that hasn't really shown himself in this game. That's Noni Madueke. He hasn't really impressed in this game.
You can say that it will be match rusty. He has not played. One of the things you have to just criticize Lampard for is the fact that a player that hasn't really had game time, Aubameyang, Noni, and you start them in a derby.
I think it was actually probably was pushed with Aubameyang. We saw his performance when he came in against just the last match. We saw him come up in that game and actually give a good account of himself. Towards the 15 minutes or 10 minutes he actually played in that game. So I think he did a good audition for himself that day to start this game, but he never really impressed in this game. With that, it sums up why Potter and Frank Lampard hasn't really been they haven't been that confident about Aubameyang since taking over the job at Chelsea. So it's really saddening seeing him. We saw his form at Barcelona before coming to Chelsea. He was having a good game week at Barcelona in the La Liga. And when he came to Chelsea, when he joined Chelsea, it has really been everything going down for him.
One of the problems you see that Chelsea have this season is actually the fact that the new ownership are not taking the steps in the right direction.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make some mistakes before you find right.
Yeah.
A failing is not really a problem, but it's not every day you start from the top.
No. See, we are not talking about start with winning the league, but at least go to Europe. This is worse.
Yeah, it's worse, but I still believe in this team. I believe in Chelsea. I know that next season, when they come next season, we just need a right manager, have the players with the right frame of mind. Because
we are talking about managers.
Yeah.
We are talking about managers. I'm talking about the owners. Because, for instance, look at Man City's owners. Look at new owners at Newcastle.
Well, Manchester City today starts in a day.
No. Man City, when they came, they went to Europe Street.
Yeah.
Their first season. Newcastle, this is their first full season. Where are they going to? Europe. Why? Because, see, when you know how to run a club, you know how to. And if you don't know how to, employ the people that can run it.
I just want to believe that they will come good next season. They've had this season as a practical season. Yes, they are seeing their mistakes. They are actually trying to recalculate. That's why I think that's one of the reasons why they are not actually in a rush to get a new manager, because of the way they overhype and the way they rush in to get Graham Potter. They even gave him, I think, a 5 years deal, which was
5 years
and for so much of the season they were actually trying to motivate him. They left the boy. He won't sack Graham Potter. He wanted to give him that confidence that, yes, I'm so much with you, I'm so much behind you, you can actually do it. But where the fans actually knows that this man is not it. And you have to look at where Boyd is coming. This is an American businessman. He hasn't held a football club. He hasn't owned a football club before. The only thing he owned was, what's it called? An NFL team. That's LA Dodgers.
I don't think they go on relegation.
They don't go relegation. No, it's a franchise league. So it's a league of capitalists.
He will know that in England.
I think he's actually seeing his mistakes. And I believe Chelsea will come good next season. That's almost the fourth goal. And that didn't go in as a goal.
The ball didn't fully cross.
Yeah,
that was a big chance for Arsenal. And I think, was it Aspilicueta or Thiago Silva that crossed?
He was a player I've not really been impressed with in this game. It has to be Aspilicueta. It shows one is match rusty, and the age is really telling on Aspilicueta.
He is extremely match
reminds me of when Paulo Ferreira was.
That's Thiago Silva clearing that.
Yeah, it reminds me of when Paulo Ferreira was in the highlights of his career. There's no communication between the defenders and the goalkeeper. And this actually sums up the Chelsea season.
Look at Madueke blocking the goalkeeper from saving.
That could have been the fourth goal, and that would have been
That was just
problem.
a well-timed clearance for Thiago Silva. On the line, actually.
Look at the Chelsea squad. It just shows on them. This is a team that lack so much momentum, lack the drive to actually pursue for something, for success this season. I think I'm seeing it on them, the way they playing with no pattern, no cohesion. There's nothing in this squad. Just so absurd.
You know, one thing Graham Potter successfully did to Chelsea was to put Chelsea in disarray.
Yeah, you can say that.
There is no direction. You know, when you are working for a company,
this might just be the fourth goal for Arsenal.
Let's see.
This might just be the fourth goal.
That was a good save from Kepa. A straight shot from Xhaka and.
I think if that was Odegaard there, it might just have been the fourth goal.
Scored that goal.
But he's very good at that. And
yes, that's one of his favorite positions.
And I think the goals are just overshadowing how much Saka has really pumped out in this team.
You know, when you have a lot of players in form, sometimes they cover the woes of the one that is not in form. That's why football is a team sport. It is the 53rd minute in the game between Arsenal and Chelsea. While Chelsea is busy opening the book of lamentation, Arsenal fans are celebrating every bit of it. Well, football is a game that sometimes one team must win, while sometimes it will be a draw. Whichever side that you're on, know that there's no champion forever. Well, Arsenal fans, celebrate and enjoy it while you can. Indeed, we're enjoying every bit of this game. So, the 54th minute of the game, Arsenal still leading 3-0. Wow. You said you have faith. Is your faith still as strong?
Yeah, it's still as strong. Against Southampton, we saw Arsenal did that comeback within 15 minutes. We never can tell. We've seen what's it called? We saw it happen for Tottenham, I guess. What's it called? Against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So we saw Tottenham.
Liverpool still later won.
Yeah, later one, but we have to just you have to give it to them doing that comeback from 3-0.
Oh, that was a good cross.
That was a
from Chilwell, but
that was a good
went
cross.
across the face of goal.
Wow. There's an Arsenal player that's really been impressive this season. It has to be Ramsdale. He has had some actually bad games, some stinkers of game, but he has actually been one of the best goalkeepers in the EPL this season.
But if Arsenal ends the season without winning a trophy, would you say is a failed season for us?
By Arsenal standards, That is by Arsenal standards. This is a team that hasn't been in the Champions League since 2016.
6 years.
Since 2016
Yes,
or so,
2017.
yes, 2017. That was last time they came to the
And
Champions
they lost successfully 10-2 that year.
So it's a fair.
We need to remind their fans.
It's a fair one for them coming back to the Champions League. I think that was one of their biggest, or that was one of their what's it called?
5-1.
That was one of their how can I put it? That was one of their
biggest,
points coming into the season. That let us just make it to the top.
That's their
four.
main target,
Yes,
actually.
their main target coming into the season. Let's just qualify for the Champions League, and they've gotten that. So at others, the remaining things are just bonus. Let us win the league; it's a bonus to them. As far as they've completed that, their target of winning the Champions, qualify for the Champions League. Now that's what makes fighting for the for the league more interesting. Because one, the pressure of we want to qualify for the Champions League is gone. Now let us add a bonus to it and see if we can actually push to win the league. And they're actually doing very well. Even Manchester City never beat Chelsea 3-0 this season.
But
in EPL.
looking at this, you know, Chelsea was not this bad.
This might just be
when Chelsea faced, it's like Chelsea is going from bad to worse. Because Chelsea was not like this before, even under Potter.
My problem is, the thing is, I think Frank Lampard should really consider ending his coaching career at the end of
that was a big chance from Arsenal, from Saka, and Kepa came to the rescue. Chelsea trying to cut in. What is it?
I think he should consider what I've been complaining about Madueke. It takes one too much heavy touches. Reminds me of Brighton players. Probably he should be loaned to Brighton. I don't really know what he has been playing all through this game. He hasn't really auditioned himself well for the coach to actually give him that playing time.
Look at Saka. Play shots from that position.
That
was a straight shot from Saka, but went off target at the 57th minute of the game. Hey, it's still a beautiful game. We are loving every bit of it. Even if you're on the losing, on the winning side, you don't have a choice than to just enjoy football. Oh, that's a beautiful through pass to Kai Havertz. What can you do with it? One-on-one with Ben White. He's in the box, trying to cut in. Oh, it was easily cleared out by Saka. This game, what do you think Lampard should be doing right now?
I don't say anything Lampard should be doing, because I don't say anything Lampard can do technically. Tactically, he has shown that he is incapable of doing anything for this Chelsea squad. If you take it back to his time at Everton, you can go back to about 16 to 17 matches right now that Frank Lampard last won a game in a game of football, which is really bad statistics for a coach or for his CV. So to me, I think he should really take the steps of Gary Neville and the Phil Neville of this one. Go into punditry like me and you are here talking about football, because we know we might not actually do good as a coach. It's always easy.
Can always try.
It's always easy sitting down in the studio and critiquing. I won't say criticize. I'll use critiquing.
Yeah.
Stay in the studio, critique on players and critique the coach, because I don't really talk bad about football, so I'll use critiquing. So it's always easy sitting down in the studio, and I really want to see Frank Lampard come to the studio, analyze and dissect football. Then I'll look at him like, you can really say this, but you couldn't do this when you were.
That makes his punditry career too shaky, because people will criticize him.
You'll be successful. You can see Gary Neville always talking every week that this coach is not good, this player is not good.
But they gave him a shot up. That was a big chance for. Okay, that was good defending. Fofana has been fantastic this season.
Yeah, he has just unfortunate he's playing for a Chelsea squad that the momentum is not really there for them. And we are seeing a substitution. Wow, this is you yourself look at the squad there, because you are taking out Trossard, you're bringing in Martinelli. And against Aspilicueta, who has not really been a form, or he hasn't really been in this game, because you can see the match rustiness in Aspilicueta. This hasn't really been a good season for him. And now you're bringing in, Arsenal is bringing in Martinelli, a direct winger to actually run against Aspilicueta. I think Chelsea should be in for a lot of trouble in the second half.
There's no trouble that can be bigger than this. If you know in football, if a team doesn't show up for a match, they award them 3 goals and 3 points. And what are we seeing on the screens?
No, there's still more goals in this game.
It's just as if Chelsea wasted the money they used in buying diesel or gas to fuel our bus to the Emirates
There's no
Stadium.
push. There's
Because
not.
this is awful.
I just try to see what has Frank Lampard been telling these boys in training. What has he been telling
Like,
them?
I
in
don't
dressing room?
understand.
What is he telling them on the stand? Because these are professional footballers, for Christ's sake, and they are playing this absurd football. This is
Terrible.
This is just terrible. Terrible is even.
That's the right word.
Terrible is even an understatement to what Chelsea has
This
been
is
playing.
terrible. And a quick recap to what happened this weekend. Man City actually won 2-1. Liverpool, oh my goodness, you need to see that game. Chelsea on the counter, what can Kayave do? Just, back to Sterling. Try to cup the ball in. What can they do with it? Oh, it was easily cleared.
That should be a foul against Chelsea.
Across into the box. Oh, easily cleared by the Arsenal defense.
I think Ramsdale is another player that hasn't really come to
he has
this
been one
season.
of Chelsea's
He has actually been one of Chelsea's problems. I think going into the next season, if there's one thing the team actually needs to get is a forward. Get a good nine get a striker that can actually play with the team. I'm talking about older play. He has a good older play, very good on football, moving with the players. Because when you look at it, Okuku will be joining the team at the end of the season. Then we still need a 9 in this squad because it's one thing that the team has actually lacked. You look at Kai Havertz, who has been Chelsea as a scorer. He doesn't have 10 goals in the EPL. He doesn't even have 10 goals in the middle of the season. So it goes so much to tell you how bad the season has really been for these guys.
How bad the season has been for Chelsea? Actually, it's getting worse. Because Chelsea is currently trailing.
It get more worse than still looking at the fixtures and see that they have Manchester City. They still have dates with what's it called? I think they have dates with Newcastle too. Have dates with Manchester City. These are games that you actually look at it like.
I think if I'm the Chelsea owner, Lampard should be going after.
He should be going after this match. I don't really see anything Lampard can actually do again this season. Get in the new coach. Let the new coach just familiarize with his boys and know whoever he wants to sell at the end of the season.
So, a quick recap. The game between Liverpool and Tottenham that went down on Sunday was a thriller.
Yeah, it was a thriller.
Was a battle.
A lot of coming backs at the point.
Oh my goodness.
At the point at 3-3.
Liverpool raced up to a 3-0 lead. Yeah. Tottenham came back into the game 3-3.
And don't forget, the third goal scored in the 94th minute.
9 minutes.
At that point, I was like, wow, this is a good comeback. Not knowing that, what's it called?
Jota was going
to come back with another goal off Lucas Moura's mistake. So it was a good game for Liverpool because we said it here the other day that Liverpool is the team that nobody is actually paying much attention to how much they are doing their comeback, and this is.
And you know one thing that has been a boost
but you expect Chelsea to.
Oh, that's a counter. What is
two? But you expect Chelsea to
look
lose
at what the counter
that is a Chelsea. That is Chelsea for you. This is offside. You shouldn't be taking that because that is offside, and you should know that better that that is actually offside. How do you lose a counter of playing 4 against 2? And this is what we've been saying for the past 15 minutes. How much creativity this team lack. You don't have a player that can actually hold on to the ball. I don't expect Kante to be in that position because the Kante is not a really. I think Madueke should be going out of this game.
If you look at it,
you have a player. Sterling was so much free there. He should be the one getting the ball.
That ball was not an offside.
It wasn't offside. Madueke should even be doing better there also.
So it's the 64th minute of the game. Chelsea down, trailing 3-0. So Liverpool won this weekend on Sunday 4-3. Manchester United defeating the informed Aston Villa 1-0. Manchester United completely dominated that fixture and they deserved the win. Yeah, and Man City raced to the top of the table, winning by 2-1. And if Arsenal wins today, the elephant, so-called elephant, that maybe the elephant that can start eating grass or any other thing by falling down, if Man City wins tomorrow, they are back on top of the table. Hey, it's still a beautiful game. And earlier today, Barcelona won 1-0 against the 10-man Osasuna. The goal came at the 9th minute. Oh, Madueke getting the goal.
That is his first goal. That is a good goal for Madueke. we've actually been
I
talking
will
about
hope
it,
it's not an
I
offside.
think that pass is actually the goal in this. That shouldn't be an offside.
Because
Good goal for
we've seen so many goals like this that VAR has chopped off.
That was a great
That
pass.
was a
great
goal
pass
out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of
Let's
nowhere.
see. I think there will be a review on this goal.
I don't really think there should be any review. It was a goal. It was a good goal. It wasn't offside when the ball.
Yeah,
no,
it
it was
was
a
not
goal.
offside.
This is not an offside position.
This is not an offside.
Good takedown on the ball and good taking. He took his goal precisely, and that was a good one.
He
That was
took
a
his
good pass.
spot and
Was
put
that?
I think that's his first goal.
Yeah, that's his first goal for
Chelsea
Chelsea,
career.
and that was a good pass from
Scoring
Kovacic.
it on a derby day at the Emirates Stadium, one of the places Chelsea fans love.
This is a nice goal for
Chelsea
him.
players.
I think this will actually boost his confidence and his play. One thing he really needs to work on is his first touch. He do take every first touch. We saw it in the first half.
But he's still a player that is scoring.
Yeah, still a player that's going. You look at his age, 21 years old.
Yeah.
He still has the years to actually perform. But first touch should be a basic one for him. The same thing with Modric.
But if you see his
first touch is always heavy.
Maybe in Chelsea, England is a faster league. But the leagues, if you check where they are coming from, they were a hell of a player.
Yeah, the hell of player. That's what it takes when you study the English league is a fast league, and they know about it when coming to the league that they were coming to a faster league. Madueke shouldn't be new to it because he's actually an English player.
On our screens, Gabriel is leaping. Sometimes I remember those playing days when a defender makes a mistake or didn't defend well, you act as if your leg.
Gabriel has really been.
But it seems he's
we've been talking about.
He's been overworked.
We've been talking about Partey having a bad last 3 games. Gabriel is another player that's really digressed since what's it called? Saliba left out.
You can't defend alone.
Yeah, you're not defending alone. There's another player with him. This is Gallagher coming in.
But do you know one big issue that Arsenal fans are not talking about that really killed them is the absence of Saliba. If you check it, once Saliba got injured, they started conceding. The Arsenal we knew scores 1 and win with 1. The attackers are still scoring, aren't they?
They're scoring.
But what's the difference? They are conceding. And who went out of the back line? Only Saliba.
It's actually out of the season. We should know that. We should note that it's actually out of the season. So they have to actually play without Saliba for the remainder of the season. This is a corner kick to Arsenal, and that is Saka standing over the ball.
And it's the 60th minute of the game between Arsenal and Chelsea. 3 goals to 1 in favor of Arsenal. And it seems the derby is living up to expectation.
One goal from Chelsea will lighten up this game.
Yeah. It will bring the spark. I think Gallagher, if not...
Gallagher is 19.
I think Gallagher is being given some instruction. He's coming on to the field of play.
I'm trying to see who might be going out. And from looking at from Clapper's substitution for the past games, I think it might just be Enzo going out for Gallagher.
And that will affect the midfield. Because Enzo is one solid guy for us in the midfield.
He just sums up this season for Chelsea. Just sums up how bad Chelsea has been this season.
In a Chelsea squad that's going down, you can still single out some players.
That's actually been playing.
One of them is Enzo.
One of them is Enzo. Enzo has been impressive. And looking at this is 4th season in England. But what they say is the class is permanent, and that is actually form is temporary. Class is permanent, and that class is what we were saying. And so it shows that him winning the young best player at the World Cup was not a fluke. It was actually how good he was. And another player that's really been impressive in Chelsea has to be Thiago Silva. And you look at his 38 years old, he'll be 39 in about 9 or 10 days. He'll be 39 years old, and you can still see him playing 90 minutes. Shows how good and
he knows how to manage his energy.
Yes, he knows how to manage his energy.
Yoruba will say Agbao, senior man in the game, actually. Saka is in the... it was dispossessed.
You see the energy he brings into the game, how composed Thiago Silva is, and he begs the question when you look at the young players who are 24, 25 years old, actually playing lackadaisical football in this Chelsea squad.
It's just painful. But looking at the second half so far. I think the introduction of Kai Havertz has made some difference, Chelsea, going forward.
Well, I don't really see the difference with Kai Havertz. Let me take you back to the first half. Arsenal got that 3 goals within 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
10 minutes,
It was
yeah.
within the 30th minute to the 40th minute that
yes.
he got that goal. So it's another thing they can still do within 75 to 85 minutes.
But you
and
know,
then get
first
the 2
half,
goals.
they actually were dominating. Chelsea spent most of the first half in their own box.
half, yeah.
Yeah. So, but looking at this, Chelsea has been going forward, creating chances, and even got a goal.
Against the run of play.
Yeah, against the run of play. But actually, you know, when you have a striker in front of you,
Yeah.
when the defenders knows that this guy is on field, you know, the caution.
Okay, we are saying look at Modric and Gallagher coming in. I think this is a good substitution for Chelsea.
Aspilicueta is down.
Aspilicueta is actually down there.
And the news out this evening
This
is
should be a
that
yellow card to Gabriel there.
the news coming out this evening is that PSG has decided to suspend Lionel Messi for 2 matches.
Wow.
You know, the full story is not out yet, but it's a breaking news to, you know,
Okay,
our viewers.
Enzo Fernandez is out of this game, and he's one of the substitutions we actually expected.
Yeah.
Gallagher and Modric come in. Let's see how much pace Gallagher
That
and
means
Modric
Kante
can
will have
actually
to
push
go
into
back
this
to
game.
the
Yeah,
central
Kante will actually have to go back to the central midfield. Let's see how much pace Modric can actually add to this game. We've not really seen much from the left side of the Chelsea wing. So it's really great to see him coming in, and let's see what he can actually bring into this game. Because like Madueke, he's another player that his first touch has really been letting him down in this Chelsea squad.
And you know, one thing is about good managers is tactical input. Working on players
tactically, you can see how much
personally.
you can see the difference between Frank Lampard and Aspilicueta and
Arteta.
Arteta really grown into this game.
But apart from that, if you look at the Arsenal's players Arteta inherited that are still playing this team, many of them has improved, especially Granit Xhaka. Xhaka, Saka, those guys really improved under.
And you have to look at it that Saka is actually still growing. At the age of 21 years old, actually playing this mod game with lots of
And
experience.
even
under his
Gabriel too
belt.
improved.
Yeah, Gabriel actually improved, but you know, well, I'll say he improved. And there's still room for more improvement
Yeah,
on the
of
part
course.
of Gabriel.
If they want to be
That's what I
winning the
like
league.
about them actually pushing for the league this season. Even if they don't get it this season, come next season, they can actually push more with more
But so
experience.
far, can you say personally, Arsenal has really made their faithfuls proud?
Yeah, they've made their fans proud. Only if they're going to overachieve, or only if their fans are actually over-expecting from Arsenal. I always go back to saying that coming into the season, what was their priorities, what was their targets coming into this season? No Arsenal fan can tell me that winning the league was one of their targets, and this is a great player, and I think that's Nelson coming.
Tierney and
Nelson
coming on.
Yeah, Nelson has actually been a good super sub for Arsenal this season. We've seen him coming,
Yeah, especially against Bournemouth.
Against Bournemouth, we saw him against against Manchester City also. Came into the
And
game and gave
Zinchenko is being withdrawn from this game. He's just coming back from injury.
Just coming back from injury. And this is another impressive player for Arsenal. A good buy for Manchester City. He came into this squad with good experience. That is him and
Yes,
Saka is going out. Yeah, I think this is one
Saka
substitution.
is going out for.
This is one substitution we've actually been
Nelson.
calling for a long time. And
Saka needs to. I think
he needs that
Arsenal
rest.
needs to rest
He
him.
needs that rest. He needs that rest.
So that they don't lose him to injury. There are still tougher games coming ahead. There's still Newcastle.
Yeah, there's Newcastle. There's
There's other.
There's Brighton.
Brighton.
They also have Brighton. So they also have a date with Brighton.
Tougher games. But do you think Arteta most of this season has stuck with the 4-3-3 formation? Don't you think he has been too rigid?
It actually works for him.
Because at this stage of the season,
position, you changing what actually works for you. And this is Aspilicueta.
No,
really
but looking at
really
it,
lost some pace in football.
if you say 4-3-3 is working for him, as at now it is failing him because he has lost the first position back to Man City. Because looking at it, the 3 games is going back till when?
As a placeholder.
Till
too. We'll never get to Manchester City might lose against West Ham.
Might
lose against West
might.
Ham. Yeah, you know, I'll be careful with my
I
words.
like the word might.
I just have to be careful with my choice of words. So
you know, Arsenal fans have faith these days. They were expecting.
That is Modric.
Oh!
What can he do? No. He's still looking for his first goal at Chelsea. For Chelsea, and I would really love that goal to come against Arsenal. Looking at the tussle between Chelsea and Arsenal before Chelsea got
and
Modric.
even looking at the fact that Noni made his debut goal at the Emirates Stadium.
So this is a player I actually believe in. I
can do a lot.
He will come in good next season.
It's the 75th minute of the game between Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal leading 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium. There has been not too much to talk about in this second half. Just Arsenal trying to kill off the game and just take home the 3 points. Trying to avoid the I won't call him nemesis, but the unbelievable tragedy that happened to them. Losing 2 goals, losing 3 points from a 2-goal lead position back to back, and even losing 3 points at home in a game where most football fans thought Arsenal would take it easily. Maybe another movie will be acted in Emirates Stadium today. We don't know, but Chelsea is not playing like a team that wants to come back into this.
This is a coach. You can see the way, you can see his face. He's looking like a coach that's
but
lost.
I think you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah, you can't give. That's actually true. You can't give what you don't have. Expecting too much from him. And after Fault Boy bringing in Frank Lampard as the interim coach, you saw his performance at Everton. This was a coach.
There are a lot of coaches
coach that was sacked at Everton because this sums up so much about Chelsea this season. Like unexpectedly, I never came into the season looking at Chelsea fighting for 5th position.
Because we had
in the 12th position.
There's this confidence that as a Chelsea fan, knowing that Tuchel is on bench,
you have to look at the transfers.
You know that.
You have to look at the I'm not talking about Tuchel right now. You have to look at the transfers Chelsea made. These are transfers that will actually make you believe that this team is going to do.
But you need a manager to take care of.
Pochettino is coming. They might see how good
even Pochettino, we've been hearing they will close it. We've not heard anything since the beginning.
This is my problem on Noni. He has to release this ball. Release the ball at
and he will open himself to injuries. Because when you hold the ball too much, you get injured easily. So it's the 77th minute of the game, and Chelsea is 3-1 down. Modric tried to play a 1-2 with Chilwell there, but it was.
That should be a foul.
That's a free kick in favor of Chelsea. Oh, that's a free kick in favor of Chelsea. Oh my God. That was shit.
That was a foul, by Nelson.
Nelson.
Yes, Nelson.
That was a foul by Nelson. I think it was just a misstep.
Yes, it was a misstep for me.
Yes, it was a misstep. So, a quick update. The game between Sociedad and Real Sociedad versus Real Madrid. Some call them the Royal Madrid. Some will just call them the Real Madrid. They are the most successful team in European football. And in the match...
That should be a foul. Is there a foul there?
Yeah, we check if there is a foul.
That's a corner kick. And that's talking about the ageless Thiago Silva.
Fine wine.
He grows.
The older the wine.
Yeah, he gets old like the old fine wine.
Yeah.
And this is a corner kick for Chelsea from Modric. 7 corner kicks for Arsenal, so 2 for Chelsea.
That explains
the game, the form of the team. And
dominance of
that is a good one.
That
was a good one. I think Chelsea really grew into this game in the second half. It has been an impressive one for them in the second half.
And it's the 36th minute in the game between Sociedad and Real Madrid. It's 0-0 currently. And to lose against Lens is leading a goal scores in his first half. And on our screen, Hakim Ziyech is coming on from non-in the goal scorer, Madueke.
Yeah,
why is he taking an handshake? You are losing 3-1.
Good game of football from Noni Madueke. And Ziyech has actually been a player that hasn't really live up to that expectation since joining from Ajax I've not really seen a good season from him. I don't really know the problem because it's always the different.
It's
always a different version.
Maybe
of ZH
it's the
whenever he's
pattern.
Playing. Yes,
Maybe it's pattern of.
But it's always a different version of ZH whenever he's playing in the national team. And
he almost went
ZH
to
for
PSG.
Chelsea. Towards the end of the season.
Winter.
Yeah, during the summer. That was the January. Winter break in January.
Yeah. So, wow.
Maybe that's really affected his form.
Kovacic just got a yellow card in the 80th minute of the game.
That's a kick out now.
It just seems Arsenal is just trying to wind down the clock.
That was the add-on of Jesus.
That was the harsh tackle. Deservedly a yellow card. Some referees can even consider it to be an error because the stud was
the red is too much. Red is too much.
Had it been he lifted the leg a little, it would have been a red card because the stud is open.
I think the goals were just too much in the first half. It has really been a balanced game in the second half.
Yeah, it has been a... You can't really say it's balanced because when a team is leading 3-0, what they want to do is to run down the clock.
Yeah, we saw try doing that. We saw Southampton try doing that against Arsenal, and we know what ended the game. And so this is a game that we might even actually see it go down to 3-3.
Yeah, that's why football has its own magic.
This is Chelsea, and we know Chelsea can do that.
Yeah, we can, but it's not just this season.
So let us live in that fantasy.
Not just this season.
Let us live in that fantasy.
I told you first half that I can say Chelsea is not coming back into this game. Because, Knight, as the pigeon people will say...
This is the team that is not... They are not creating chances.
Knight will go make sense. Now from money,
you
will not see the side. You understand? But the night is a night of joy for Arsenal fans.
Yeah, it's a night of joy. I can imagine all my WhatsApp messages will be so buzzing right now from Arsenal fans.
I
actually brag about this game. Like, Chelsea is going to defeat you guys in this game.
That was a mistake.
But no, it's a game of football.
It's a mistake. With this Chelsea this season, bragging against this Arsenal, that's a mistake. It's just trying to, sleep with one eye closed.
I think Kante has really been an impressive.
No, Kante. One thing I love about Kante, when he's playing, you know that this guy is on the field. You see him almost everywhere.
Everywhere on the field.
Like,
his energy
at 31, 30, 31, playing like this, that's fantastic.
And it shows so much about Chelsea's season because they really missed the injury to Kante and the injury to Reece James. Really
not even only Chelsea, France. Imagine Kante in that French team.
So much this season.
Wow. So it's the 82nd minute of the game between Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal leading 3-1. Goals scored by Odegaard scoring 2 goals in the first half and Gabriel Jesus scoring the 3rd goal. And in this second half, Noni Madueke actually scored the goal for Chelsea. For the bookmakers, Chelsea is actually winning in that half right now.
When I saw the odd on Chelsea winning this game at 6-0 this evening, I was like, wow. This shows how bad Chelsea how bad we've really bad, how worse we've been this season. It's not really looking like it's going to be good on Saturday.
But if you are the owner of Chelsea, who will be the manager you'll be teaching towards?
I'm looking at it like there's not really any good manager out right now.
Since you can negotiate Potter out of a job, you need a
manager. You actually need a manager that will come in and stabilize the team. A manager that can actually work with a young player. In my head, I'm teaching towards Enrique or Pochettino. They are good calls for the team.
But Enrique was talking about giving him time.
That is it.
You might not go to Champions League in 2 years.
They tried giving Graham Potter that time, but it was not happening. So
football, there's no time again in football.
We're not going to buy into that. Show us what you're going to do. Show us your proposal. Show us the plan towards the season, and let's see how good it can be.
Don't you think Chelsea should be thinking of negotiating Jose Mourinho out of his contract?
Jose Mourinho has really shown that is this my job?
Oh!
That's not a goal for him.
Good defending.
That's a penalty?
No, that's not. Fofana successfully cleared the ball. He cleared the ball. That's a goal kick in favor of Chelsea. So, looking at it, if you looked at the teams Mourinho has created a foundation for, they've tried. Because so many of the times, it's not who lays the foundation that will end it, but we need a solid foundation. The foundation he laid for Chelsea lasted for almost a decade.
Also, Mourinho is a good coach, no doubt. But you look at it, can he actually work with the manager? These are managers who complain about Tuchel.
The management.
Yes, that the management complain about Tuchel. And we know Jose Mourinho to be another stubborn coach. Can he actually work with Boy?
That means
once he go into the press,
you can.
once he go for his press and actually talk about
tell me two managers in world football right now that is very successful that are not adamant like Mourinho?
It's not
because
about,
I know Guardiola is as adamant.
Yeah.
Tuchel is as adamant. Ancelotti doesn't take nonsense. He can be the smiling or friendly type, but doesn't take shit.
I don't really think Jose Mourinho will be coming back to Chelsea. He's having a good good season with Roma. Less pressure. Less pressure.
Do you know that there was a story after the transfer window in January? There was a story that it was actually heard to be saying that Chelsea, if they come calling, because he has a soft spot for Chelsea.
Well, let's see when the season ends. But we all know that it's all tilting towards Pochettino right now. Is a fan favorite, and this is a player coming in. That's
Partey is coming in for Jorginho. And Jorginho actually
had a wonderful game. He actually showed himself in this game, showing what Chelsea is actually missing in their midfield.
Of course.
Since he left, they're actually missing Jorginho in that midfield. The experience and the fluidity.
But what can he, when he's not planning to renew his contract and it will expire in the summer, so you just have to cash in on him. So it's
really happy seeing Jorginho having a good game of football.
Yeah.
He showed himself class
now,
well.
Now imagine the game between Arsenal and Man City, playing two number 4, Jorginho and Partey. They won't concede that much.
Wow.
Because that's one of the things, when you look at Arsenal this season, they've been too loyal to that 4-3-3. As a manager, you can be found out. So, ability to tweak things. Look at Guardiola. 3 matches, 3 different formations sometimes.
And that's why it's Guardiola. That's why it's Pep Guardiola. And that's why Frank Lampard is Frank Lampard.
But that's the coach you are competing with. So,
but they don't have. There's one thing about Pep Guardiola and his team. He has the players that can actually fit into every formations he wants. Pep Guardiola doesn't just go into the market for buying sake. He buys players. He identifies the players that can actually work for what he wants, and they're actually doing what he wants. So it's actually different from Pep Guardiola, from Arteta. I know in training seasons, Arteta would have tried some formation, but he might have just said that this formation might actually not work. And the 4-3-3 has really been working for Arsenal. No, it has really been working for them. Topping the league for over 30 weeks. It shows how much the formation has really worked for them. Forget they had issues within 3 weeks. It happens in football. Who says Pep Guardiola can't have 3 weeks and without winning a game?
Okay.
He might go on a 3-match.
If you say who says, I'm saying.
What if Pep Guardiola plays draws in his next 3 matches?
But to divert a little bit of the conversation, this news coming out since yesterday is that Cristiano Ronaldo is now paid in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I saw the news about him wanting to leave Saudi Arabia. Because you look at the quality of football in Saudi Arabia, it's not really. You look at Cristiano Ronaldo, he's someone that really loves himself being in the news and being in the media. He's not getting that spotlight he wants in Saudi Arabia. So I think probably that's one of the reasons. He
has been criticized too massively.
He still plays for the Portuguese national team, and he'll be looking at it like he can still do something good in football. That is a chance. Oh no, just didn't take it. Just didn't take that chance. I still talks about
another thing about Chelsea this season, losing chances.
Have they been creating chances in this game? I've not really seen.
Not this game, but for this season, under Potter, they created
they created a lot of chances. But finishing if there's one thing that was in a problem under Potter, it was chance creation. Chelsea created chances under Potter, but they didn't take those chances. That was one of the problems they had with him.
And you know that talking about how Chelsea season has gone this particular ending season, who do you think Chelsea should be putting the blame on for our woes?
For the woes this season, it has to be it has to be Todd Boyle. I'm not talking about Todd Boyle buying Chelsea deal. That's not a problem. The problem is bringing in one too many money, players. We have a Chelsea squad of over 33 senior players this season. At a point, Graham Potter was playing 11 against 11 in training season. So the cohesion wasn't there. You are not playing with your your favorite 11, who should be your starters. At a point, Chelsea we don't even recognize who are the starters at Chelsea. Every week we are just looking out for to see, okay, who is going to start this week. That is not supposed to happen. We've seen the players. We've seen we've seen Modric not get into the team. He hasn't really been playing. He hasn't been playing as much as Chelsea expected. This is the player they paid £100 million for.
Chelsea going into next season and talking to, it seems like Poch is halfway getting the job. Do you think we will be experience another story entirely?
No. Yeah, we will actually experience another story entirely.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure about that. We can't see.
Are you certain?
Yeah, we won't see. Chelsea is not a small club. This is not a small team. You look at the number of players they have. You look at the quality and caliber of players they have. These are good players, for Christ's sake. They just need that.
So you think Poch can harness?
Yeah, I actually believe in Pochettino. He's actually a big
the same Poch that lost the French league with the kind of talent he had in PSG.
He won the French league.
Taking it half season.
He won La Liga.
Halfway, he only took off from where Tuchel stopped. Yeah, the main season he had for himself, he failed successfully.
He won the league. He won the league at this League One.
Half season.
It won't take it away from him. What's it called? Tuchel joined Chelsea half season and won the Champions League. Should we say Lampard? He won.
What I'm saying is, knockout football is different from league.
No, you're making an excuse now.
No. I'm serious.
Pochettino won the league. He came in and won the league. He could have lost that same league. Also.
But he met the league. They were on top.
He met the league. They were on top. And what's it called? Pochettino also met Chelsea in the round of 16 of the Champions League. Someone took Chelsea to round of 16 of the Champions League.
Of course, Lampard
if Lampard had lost it in the group stage, we won't be talking about winning.
If he's losing it, he would have lost it.
We won't be talking about Tuchel winning the Champions League. Without that, that was a wayward shot from. That has to be Gallagher.
Ziyech. So it's this 92nd minute of the game.
5-minute additional time.
Of the 5-minute additional time.
I can't just wait for this game to finish. No,
oh man!
You can really see.
You can see Lampard folding his hands as if catching cold.
This is not the Chelsea I used to know.
And well, it's a cold night for Chelsea fans. You just have to fold on your bed.
Dishing out information. Then there you have Frank Lampard.
What do you can't give what you
give that information. You give that you give this player that belief that you can actually do something. You can bring something out of this game. But it's not really happening. For the past 15 minutes, Frank Lampard has been sitting there looking hopeless, like there's nothing I can do anymore in this game.
You can't give what you don't have. It's just.
I'll really be sad if they don't sack him at the end of this match.
Oh, we can expect anything from this management.
Let's just take the remaining matches. They should just take the remaining matches this season as friendly.
Because if Chelsea is not careful, they might be finding themselves in the relegation battle.
No, they can't find themselves in relegation battles. Because we saw Everton and Everton and Leicester play out to draw yesterday. Just remaining 4 games for them. So mathematically, Chelsea will actually make it through. You don't expect Everton or Leicester to win their next 4 games. Even if Chelsea don't win it, because I don't expect Chelsea to win any of their remaining 5 matches. Even against Bournemouth, let's just go and get that 1 point against Bournemouth and just get ourselves. Just enough points to just salvage the season.
Well, it is now. I can't believe Chelsea is in the conversation. Oh, that was a good shot for Kai Havertz.
That was a nice body push, and that was a nice shot and a nice save from Ramsdale there.
Wow. Just shoved
him. I think he should have gone in more.
He couldn't.
He still had that time. He still had
the space was not that much.
The space was there for him to go in.
Just for him to pick the right spot. I think that's very.
I think this team that actually finished this game in the second half, Hakim Ziyech, should actually be Chelsea starting lineup. Going into the next match, that was a bad one from. Okay.
Wow. Lamentation.
If they have played half this way in the first half, I think we won't be talking about
Chelsea is playing like this because Arsenal is actually relaxed.
Looking at it like.
So it's not as if Chelsea is playing well. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was.
You should be leaving that ball for Ziyech. You should be leaving that for Ziyech.
That was a good move.
Oh, that was a good move.
Modric actually is one shining light.
And he's actually getting into it right now.
He's one damn serious player if he gets a serious man. That's why I said, bring Murillo for this guy. You should believe in this for Ziyech. You will see. That was Ziyech. You know, Murillo knows. Look at Temir Brown. Is this the Temir Brown we saw to Roma? Murillo knows how to harness some potentials in players. Sometimes he does it the hard way. So with Murillo handling this team, I think.
To get one you should believe that to be going. That was actually going out.
You see?
That was actually going out. One last attack for Chelsea. That was a wrong attack.
You know, whenever you see Ziyech, you see that this guy has quality. He has not been able to get that manager to tap into his quality.
But I believe he's going to grow into it next season. He just needs some games and the right manager.
But there's a tendency that he might be sold.
Who?
Ziyech.
Oh, Ziyech. I thought you were talking about Modric. No, Ziyech is actually going at the end of the season. He is actually one of the players who will be leaving Chelsea at the end of the season.
Chelsea too will be having issues with FFP. They don't let go.
They'll surely let go of some players. I think the owners never expected Chelsea not qualify for the Champions League. That was why they got as much as players they got during the windows. Because we are looking at it, nobody ever thought of Chelsea not qualifying for Europe. So not
and even buying some players down, Nkunku coming in, this Gustavo, Gusto
at the end of the season.
From Lyon.
We'll see a lot of players leave, and that's the final whistle.
And the game just came to an end at the Emirates Stadium. We have the victors and we have the villains. Chelsea is on the losing side today. Well, Arsenal faithful can celebrate again because the elephant is actually back on the table. But the question is, till when?
Thursday.
Because Manchester City,
they play West Ham on Thursday.
They play West Ham
on Thursday.
Is it on Thursday or tomorrow?
I think it's on Thursday.
I think it's tomorrow.
Okay.
I think Man City is playing West Ham tomorrow. So by tomorrow, we can actually tell Arsenal fans that don't celebrate too much. Tomorrow we'll get Bele.
They might still have time to celebrate.
Which no be about
They might still have time to celebrate. We never can tell what will happen in the game between Manchester City and West Ham. West Ham too are one of the spoilers. We know they can actually.
They spoiled it for Arsenal.
Teams. So they can get into the game and do something good.
But with Haaland,
in the form of his life,
in the Haaland Island, destroying teams, he has scored 50 goals already this season.
Yeah, good one for him.
And funny enough, this season, he started the league scoring against West Ham. Where he scored 2 goals.
Yeah, he's always a sure bet.
Those were his first 2 goals.
Actually a sure bet. It's actually a sure bet to score against teams. And I will also be expecting a goal or 2 from Haaland against West Ham. West Ham are not really that big to challenge Manchester City, but it's a game of football. I don't want to really.
Why are they clapping to the fans?
Yeah, you have to. They've actually been there for them, so they have to. The players are the ones who have been poor. The fans have been following them around, still trying to watch the game, beautiful game of football. So you have to just give them. You have to give them the applause and applause for them coming to the field. And don't forget, Frank Lampard is still looking for his first victory against Arteta. Against Arteta. I think I guess Zinchenko should be telling Modric there. Wow, are you happy joining Chelsea?
No, honestly, he signed a 7-8 years there.
Yeah, so he'll come good. He'll come good. That's sure.
And this Arsenal can still fizzle out because if they don't spend more and boost their squad, they can fizzle out.
There's too much.
How can you explain a team topping for 30? Honestly,
there's nothing to explain. It's not about really bad.
It's really bad.
No. They've actually been good.
They've been good, but topping for 30-something league weeks and losing the title. Yoruba will say losing at the edge of breakthrough, like English.
They are not the first team to do that.
They are the first team in England.
In England, they might be the first team, but they won't be the first team in football. So
but that is bad when you are first to do such a thing.
I won't really be saying they are bad. So it happens in football.
Yeah, it happens in football. Maybe they meet
I
and
was telling this one, why didn't you come to Arsenal?
why will you come to Arsenal when they were not willing to pay the amount the
Well, it's a beautiful game of football. It has really been a game of football. A game of football, yes. Not really. We didn't really expect anything much from Chelsea, and we've always thought of Arsenal winning this game, and they just got the game. And the Premier League title is actually looking still very much interesting. We've seen La Liga home and dry. Barcelona is winning that. We've seen what's it called? Italian Serie A. Napoli are home and dry. They've won that. We've seen the
French League
One is almost done. It's almost
but there's still something to play for in the Bundesliga. It's been a while we've seen them go head to head like this.
So the EPL is still going to be interesting up to week 36 or week 37, whereby around that time we might be.
Well,
that is if Manchester City didn't lose any game or Arsenal actually lose 1 or 2 games.
Some of the questions
for them. Impressive season for Arsenal.
Well, some of the questions that some Chelsea fans will be getting today is our market.
Market normal for
the Arsenal fans will be saying the elephant is back on the tree. So, for the 90 minutes of this game, what are the things you noticed in the Chelsea squad and the Arsenal squad? So far, your own take on the match.
My take on the Chelsea squad is that it still remains the same Chelsea we've been seeing all season. They've been playing the same game we've been seeing Chelsea play all season. And looking at Arsenal, they actually came back. This is an Arsenal squad team that actually lost, or they've actually been on the losing side, or they've been playing draw for the past 3 games. So coming back to get a victory against a team like Chelsea, yes, Chelsea we are right in the lowest of momentum right now. But morale, everything, he still doesn't leave that fact that Chelsea is actually a big team. And you look at the
quality.
The quality in the players, and for Arsenal to get a 3-1
victory. You spend 600 million and not bring in a proper number 9.
Wow.
Another error.
We'll see that we'll see what happens in the next transfer window.
Wow. That's the sound you hear from many Chelsea fans. Wow. Wow. Some can even become siren. Wow, 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 wow. But hey, we love the game. Better days are ahead. Don't forget, we will still come to your screens again because we have actually come to the end of the show today. Arsenal versus Chelsea game has come to an end. Chelsea losing that 3-1. Arsenal taking the day. Ian Wright is an happy man. Arsenal faithfuls are happy. But hey, Chelsea fans still are complaining again, keeping their book of lamentation. We hope that this lamentation will come to an end. We hope that one day, Chelsea can be back as the elephant on top of the table. Well, do you see that day coming anytime soon?
Next season. You might be thinking about next season. For this season, it is done and dusted.
Next season, are you even sure about it? Because Alan still has 5 years in his contract.
There are players, probably that will be another tough one another day. There are still players in the window whereby you can get players.
If you are the Chelsea management.
We saw Alan at Dortmund, and he didn't really get that much for what's it called, Dortmund. He didn't really push Dortmund to win the league. So Alan is not, Manchester City is not about Alan alone. There are players that can actually do better than Alan for Chelsea also.
Yeah, but okay.
It's about Chelsea themselves also getting.
Who do you think Chelsea should go and buy with FFP issues on?
With FFP issue, I was talking about something about Osimhen being an overpriced player for Chelsea right now. Because if you're going to get Osimhen, you'll be needing close to 150 million.
Yeah, 100 to 150.
To price Osimhen from.
But it's actually would be more than 100 because his years is coming down.
I'll actually be looking at Chelsea getting Ivan Toney, who's a striker that might actually be 40 to 50 million. Yeah,
you know Chelsea need a mobile striker.
If Antonio will be a good fit for Chelsea, he'll actually be a good fit for Chelsea team.
Because for me, apart from the Nigerian sentiment, I think Osimhen will fit into these guys.
Osimhen will fit in. We are talking about FFP being an issue.
Yeah.
FFP is an issue.
And even
There's no way
you know
Chelsea
if Anthony is a Briton,
there's no way Chelsea.
so they will overprice him.
It's not overpriced. If Anthony won't be going for more than 40 to 50 million, you can write that down today. But Osimhen won't go.
I can categorically tell you if
No.
Anthony will be going as high as 80 to 100.
I swear, yeah, for why?
Okay, Declan Rice is going for as high as
Declan Rice is
80 to
different.
100
The age
million.
is different. Declan Rice is 24 years old.
How old is
Anthony,
Ivan
we are talking
Toney?
about Anthony as 26, 27 years old.
Even if he's 27, he's still at the peak of his career. You can still get 5 years out of him.
There's no way Anthony is going for 80 million. Write it down today. Anthony is not going more than 40 to 50 million pounds. He has so many troubles on his neck. So these are things that.
But I don't think even Osimhen will want to go to a club that is not going to Champions League next season.
That's another trouble. But
thing.
you look at what.
Because even Man U is on the radar. They're trying to get Osimhen. Even this Arsenal too might be looking in his eye because Gabriel Jesus has not been that number 9. They really look at.
I don't really see Osimhen joining. Joining Arsenal. Yes, Man U might be yes, but Arsenal I don't really see him joining Arsenal because there's no way Arsenal is going to bench Gabriel Jesus, and there's no way Osimhen is going to sit on the bench. So Arsenal is out of it. Yes, Manchester United are in need of a central forward. So Manchester United is another option for him, or Chelsea. Arsenal will really go more for Vlahovic over
Juventus. Talking about Osimhen, they were disappointed. Their party was kept on hold by Salernitana.
Yeah, it's kept on hold, and on Thursday they actually win it. They are going to win the league. It's just about when are they going to finalize winning the trophy.
Yeah.
So at the end of
they're
the
actually topping with 18 points.
Yeah, so
6 games to go, just a win.
On Thursday they'll get that.
Or even if Lazio plays a draw.
I expect them to get that trophy on Thursday.
Yeah, they've done well. You know, when you work hard, the reward is imminent. Yeah. Look at us now. They started the league believing just to get to top 4. Now,
they are
topping the table, fighting for the title. If not for the brilliance of Man City, Arsenal will be taking the league this season easily, like Napoli. But hey, we enjoyed every bit of the games we've had this season so far. And for you, which team is the surprise team of the season in the Premier League?
My surprise team this season has to be Brighton. Because I never really expected much from them. I never really give them that.
But what about your surprise coach?
My surprise coach actually be De Zerbi.
De Zerbi?
Yeah, De Zerbi of Brighton.
But for me, I will be tilting towards Arteta.
What?
Because who would have thought that Arteta will hold the top spot for 30
there's something about this Arsenal squad we are almost living out. It's the continuity. These players have been playing together for so long, and that is one thing that's one thing Chelsea is missing this season. We are having a lot of players coming together to play together. So that gelling part.
Even that even affect Nottingham Forest signing a
lot of players, a full squad. More than they signed over 20 players were signed by Nottingham Forest.
Yes.
So it happens. But when you look at Arteta, he's having a squad that these players have actually been playing together as units for the past 2 seasons. See Odegaard, this is not Odegaard's first season with Arsenal. Yeah. Odegaard was there last season, playing and growing into this squad. You have Saka, you have Martinelli. The new boys in this team, this starting 11 that played today was just Jesus and Zinchenko. Yeah. So these are just like
Ramsdale.
Ramsdale. No, Ramsdale was there last season. He was there with Arsenal last season. So these are just the new players in this team. So the continuity was there for them. They've actually been playing together. So no doubt I wasn't really looking at Arteta as a problem. He had the players, he had the squad, he has the players he can actually manage and control. So it worked for him. But the Zerbi, this is a coach who came in when Brighton lost Graham Potter to Chelsea. And for him to continue that good work without losing the momentum in that team, it's really great for him. It's fantastic work he has done for that squad.
Wow. Fantastic story of football. A story that some have been created, some will be created. We don't know. That's why we stay glued to our screen to witness history, live and direct. Here at Premier Sports Fan Center, we witness the history with you. We take you far a while. We take you on the journey. We enlighten you even through this journey. And we make sure that you understand every bit of it by breaking it down for you. You know, we hope you have enjoyed this show today as much as we have. And we are going to be drawing the curtains on the show tonight. It's been a fantastic game. It's been a wonderful game of football. Well, in games like this, derby day, and you know, first time in a long time, Arsenal doing the double against Chelsea. Well, it has happened. The history has been created. We love this beautiful game. I want to encourage every Chelsea fan, like our guest in the studio, to not give up. Because now give up.
Are you a Chelsea fan? You're a Chelsea fan also. So
I'm the presenter. I'm not a Chelsea fan presenting this show. After presenting this show, I can resume the
I'm also an analyst. I'm an analyst on it. So I have to be
you are a Chelsea. You are our Chelsea guest.
I'm not talking as a Chelsea fan.
Are you trying to?
I'm not denying my team, but I'm here as a football analyst, so I have to be objective with my analysis.
Of course, you have been objective.
So it's
we can't take, but that doesn't mean we have to take out the emotional aspect too. You know, I saw you lamenting. You know, trying to it's just normal. Chelsea really were awful today. So, we have come to the end of this show. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, please, so that whenever we're about to come online, you get a notification. And please like and comment on our this particular show and other shows that we have done in the past. Engage us in our conversation, our social media platforms, like our page on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and follow us live. And don't forget to tell somebody to subscribe. We are here to give you the best of the best. It's a good night from here, and God bless you. Don't forget, now give up, now fuck up. Happy New Month to our viewers. God bless you.
The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.